all to save face for the president in his first 100 days. Finally, Mr. President, we're only a few days from President Trump's 100th day in office. And by all accounts, this has been a vastly different presidency than was promised during his campaign. So far this week, we Democrats have highlighted how this president has broken or unfulfilled promise after promise to the working men and women of America. Today, I'd like to focus on a particularly stunning reversal this president made in the first 100 days on one of the central pillars of his campaign, his promise to drain the swamp. President Trump repeated this phrase at every campaign rally. In many ways, it summed up his, quote, outsider campaign. Make no mistake about it, the president ran as a populist outsider, not as a traditional, hard-right, conservative Republican. He challenged the establishments of both parties and pitched himself as a change agent, someone who could shake up the status quo. Drain the swamp was his tagline. Now, we Democrats disagree with this president on many things, but we agree with him that the very wealthy, powerful special interests have far too much power in Washington. Large corporations who have the resources to make unlimited, undisclosed campaign contributions, who have resources to hire lobbyists on issue after issue, hold far too much power in this nation's capital. And that structure has created a system where the wealthy and powerful are advantaged in D.C., while average, hardworking Americans have a much, much smaller voice. Draining the swamp would be a good thing. But unfortunately, despite the many times he pledged radically to change the power structure in Washington, in the first 100 days, the president has abandoned the mission. He's filled his government with billionaires and bankers laden with conflicts of interest. He's broken with the practice of the Obama administration by ending the publishing of visitor logs to the White House, so the press and the American people don't know who has the ear of the president and his top people. He has even granted waivers to lobbyists to come work at the White House on the very same issues they were just lobbying on, and he's kept those waivers secret. A president who truly wanted to drain the swamp wouldn't have taken a single one of those actions. What are the American people going to think? He so campaigned on this and totally reversed himself within the first 100 days. What are they going to think of him? It's no wonder his popularity ratings are low and sinking. So, President Trump ran as a populist. But at the 100-day mark, he hasn't even tried to change the power structure in Washington, and in many ways he rigged the government even more to benefit corporate special interests. This is one of the biggest broken promises he's made to working men and women of America. We Democrats, that's how we sum up the first 100 days, broken and unfulfilled promises to the working people of America. And when it comes to draining the swamp, he's done it. And one final point. The events yesterday have further proven our point. The president promised one thing in his campaign and is now doing another. On his new health care proposal, he's shown his hand. Promised something for the working people, deliver legislation that only helps the very wealthy. On his new tax plan, which so benefits the rich, again, promise the working people, deliver for the wealthy. The president has made our point better than we could this week. After these two bills, his promises to working people are in tatters. Thank you, and I yield the floor.